श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की जय। श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय। एकमेवाक्षरं यस्तु गुरुः शिष्यं प्रबोधयेत् पृथिव्यां नास्ति तद्द्रव्यं यद्दत्त्वा चानृणो भवेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Let's now do a little Sankirtan. And I know that I cannot tell you to join me because of our situation, but let's do Roop Dhyan together as I sing Jai Ho Mere Guruvar, Jai Ho Mere Giridhar. जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। आया तेरे दर पर, मोह पे कृपा कर। आया तेरे दर पर, मोह पे कृपा कर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो गुरुवर, जय हो गिरिधर। आया तेरे दर पर, मोह पे कृपा कर। आया तेरे दर पर, मोह पे कृपा कर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय
Ravana
हो
Bhavan,
मेरे गिरिधर। आया तेरे
world's
दर
top
पर,
dosa seller.
मोह पे कृपा कर। आया तेरे दर पर, मोह पे कृपा कर। जय हो मेरे गुरुवर, जय हो मेरे गिरिधर। बोलिए गुरुवर गिरिधर की जय। You all may be knowing, I think, that Shraddh is going on from September 7th till the 21st. So we have 3 more days of Shraddh left. And then Navratri will start from the 22nd. And then on the 10th day is, of course, Vijayadashmi, the Shahra. And I mention this because people on Shraddh, people give offerings for their departed loved ones from their maternal side, paternal side. Shraddh is very, very common amongst Hindus. And then comes Navratri, 9 days of the mother. So 9 forms of the Divine Mother are worshipped. And why I mention these over here is because of a very important condition in the practice of devotion, which is called ananyata, exclusive devotion. We don't need to worship the ancestors. We don't need to make separate offerings for ancestors. We can just do the seva for our guru, and Shraddha is done. And we don't need to worship all the 9 forms of the Divine Mother. We just worship Radharani, and all the forms of the Divine Mother are within her. So we have practiced devotion to all of them. Ananyata is very, very important, and Maharaji has emphasized it. It's one of the most important aspects of devotional practice. Because there are many people who will practice, there are many, and we have done also in our countless previous lives. We have worshipped God, and we have worshipped the world. We have worshipped Devtas, the Devis and Devtas from Swarga, from the celestial abode. We have been very scattered in our devotion. We have worshipped ancestors. But now we know that there is just one source, and that is the Mool, the source, that is Bhagwan Sri Krishna. And so we can practice devotion just to one. The word ananyata comes from the word ananya, ananya meaning na anya, no other. So ananya means exclusive. Ananyata means the exclusiveness. That's what it means, exclusiveness, the condition of being exclusive. So the first thing to understand about being Ananya is that we worship only God. We don't worship anyone else. And if you say, no, I worship God and Guru, then both are one. Acharyam mam vijaniyan navamanyet karhichit namartya buddhya suyet sarvadeva mayo guru. The Bhagavatam says, in the Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna says, know that the Guru is myself. I descend to earth in the form of your Guru. So God and Guru are one. So we're not going away from being exclusive. They are just one. So being exclusive means worshiping only God. Many people worship devtas from Swargalok, and that does not make sense. They will worship God, but they'll also worship the Indra, Varun, Kuber especially, the god of wealth. And so in hopes that we will get more and more wealth, that Kuber Dev is worshipped. But it is said in the scriptures that if God takes away his power, then Kuber becomes a beggar. The god of wealth becomes a beggar. Pare upavas Kuber ghar jo vipaksha raghubir. If God is not in favor, then Kuber has to go begging door to door. Kuber is not to be worshipped. Bhagwan is to be worshipped. Many people worship Indra, and 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna put an end to Indra worship by lifting the Govardhan mountain. And that was a phenomenal lesson that Bhagwan Sri Krishna taught to the entire world forever and ever. Do not worship devtas. They are under the control of Maya. And if they're giving you rains, they're doing it because it's their duty to do so. There's no need to worship them, respect them, but no need to worship them. And then there were demons such as Hiranyakashipu. They insisted, Hiranyakashipu insisted on being worshipped. So there are those who worshipped him as well. But we all know what became of him. He was so mighty, he was so powerful, and yet he was no match for Bhagwan. And so again, Narsingh Bhagwan taught that lesson to us too. In the form of man, half lion, he came and he put an end to the atrocities of Hiranyakashipu. He destroyed Hiranyakashipu. So demons are not to be worshipped. Humans are not to be worshipped. Some people say, I see God in my child, my son, or my brother, or whoever you may have. I see God in my grandchild. That's the most likely scenario. But the problem with that is that you cannot always have these divine feelings towards your loved ones And sooner or later, you'll find fault with them. And then it becomes a namaparad. Then you have committed the greatest spiritual offense, because there you were thinking them to be God, and now you're thinking them to be devils. So that is not a good idea. To worship humans is not a good idea. So only God. But here we have a dilemma. Which form of God? And even before we get into that, then God has three aspects: Brahm, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So is it the same? And I think you all know that Brahm is without name and form, so there's no one there to be worshipped. And Paramatma is too majestic, he's too godly, and we become afraid of him. We hesitate to go near him. He's not very inviting. So we worship the Bhagwan aspect of God, the loving and forgiving aspect of God, the nectar-filled aspect of God. God, when he comes down to earth and he performs his wonderful leelas that put tears in our eyes, that make us laugh and they make us cry, they make us fall in love with him. So Bhagwan has to be worshipped. But Bhagwan has many forms. Bhagwan Sri Ram, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, there's Narsingh Bhagwan, there's so many forms of Bhagwan. So the Bhagavatam says, worship Sri Krishna. He is the avatari. He is the source. And every other form of his is an avatar. Everyone else is an avatar, a descension, an avatar of Sri Krishna. He is the main one. He is the avatari. The Bhagavatam states, यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन तृप्यन्ति तत्स्कन्धभुजोपशाखाः प्राणोपहाराच्च यथेन्द्रियाणाम्. The Bhagavad says, when you water the root of the tree, you don't need to water the fruits and flowers and leaves and the branches of that tree. You just water the root of the tree, and every part of the tree receives that water and that nourishment. But if you go on pouring water on each and every branch, each and every leaf, each and every flower and fruit growing on the tree, but you ignore the root, then the tree will wither away. It will die one day. So practice devotion to the one who's the source, Sri Krishna, and every form of God is automatically pleased. In fact, every personality is automatically pleased. Many people, as I mentioned before, as you know, many people love to, they are very particular about worshiping their ancestors. But the scriptures say that the ancestors become very happy when they see that someone in their family has started worshiping Sri Krishna. And then they become so happy that they do what we do when we become happy. We start to dance, they start to dance. Nityanti cha muhur muhur. Ancestors, and by the way, devtas also, the celestial beings, they also start to dance with joy when they see someone practicing devotion to Sri Krishna. The ancestors become happy seeing not only not only because someone in their family has become an expert in practicing devotion to Sri Krishna. No. They become happy when someone in the family has just begun to practice devotion to Sri Krishna. They start dancing with joy. So that's the way to please the ancestors, if one wishes to do so. And devtas are also pleased. And if someone says, well, I love that personality, I didn't practice devotion, that personality is going to be very angry with me. There's no need to fear, because Sri Krishna will take care of that personality. Once Sri Krishna is pleased, everyone is automatically pleased and appeased also. to make rapid progress on the path of devotion, we must become Ananya, we must work at becoming Ananya. I had perhaps already shared this story with you. It's a fictional story about a Brajwasi, a very innocent-hearted farmer living in Braj. And he was going somewhere and he was carrying a big load of something on his head, a huge load. And he saw that there was a Panditji, a priest, and he was doing parikrama. He was going around Govardhan, and that is an event by itself. And he was followed by many of his followers. And so that when he saw them, he just put his load down and he just kept looking at them. He started staring at them. As Sri Maharaj used to say, people in the village don't observe etiquette, meaning they're always genuine. They don't put on an act. Maharaj used to call etiquette. He used to say, this is putting on an act. You're observing etiquette. But he had no etiquette, so he just stared at the Panditji, and he asked the Panditji, "Who are all of you? Who are you?" And Panditji said, "I am an Ananya devotee of Sri Krishna." Oh, so what does Ananya mean? What does that mean? And the Panditji, the priest, said, well, the Pujari said, that means that I don't worship Saraswati, Brihaspati, Indra, Varun, Kuber. I just worship Sri Krishna. I see. But who are you? And the villager said, I am a Pananya devotee of Krishna. Pananya devotee? What does that mean? He said, I don't even know the names of all these people you have mentioned. Saraswati, Brihaspati, Varun, Kuber, Indra. I don't know these names. Who are they? I just know my Kanhaiya. I'm Pananya devotee. Hearing these words, the priests, the pujaris' ego was crushed. And he bowed down to the villager. He said, blessed are you, that you don't even know the name of anyone else. You don't even know anyone's name except for Kanhaiya. And when he did pranam to the villager rushed away, ran away with his load on his back, on his head, and saying, Radhe, Radhe. He just ran away from there. So the Panditji understood that this man is truly Ananya. He is so exclusively devoted to Sri Krishna, he doesn't even know anyone else's name. Now, we do know so many other names. Now, Navratri is coming up, so Durgashtami. So 9 forms of the mother, and especially Durga Maya. So when we celebrate these festivals, and Maharaji made us celebrate, he inspired us to celebrate all these festivals. But the Ananyata was always there. The exclusiveness to Sri Krishna. Mohi Sham ki banai de Durge Ma. O Mother Durga, bless me with exclusive devotion to Sri Krishna. So you respect Mother Durga, but you want only the gift of exclusive devotion to Sri Krishna from her. You celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi, but you say, "Oh Lord Ganesh, make me an exclusive devotee of Sri Krishna." You celebrate Shivratri, but you say, "Oh Shankar Bhagwan, you love Sri Krishna so much, you are so dear to him. So plead on my behalf. And won't you teach me the Tandav dance so that I may dance it for my beloved?" So the aim is always to love Sri Krishna and never to become distracted. And the same thing with having a guru. We all know our guru is Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. And Ananya, being Ananya to him means that we read only his philosophy. His books are read. We read his philosophy, we follow his philosophy, we do as he says. That does not mean that there, there isn't anyone who is true out there. There may be, but what concern do I have with that? I bow my head. I bow my head, as the Ramayana says. Siya Ram Maya Sab Jag Jani Karau Pranam Jori Jug Pani. Realizing that my Ishtadev is in every creature, in every person and every creature, I bow my head everywhere. So due respect must be given to everyone, to every form of God, to every devta. Respect should be there. But other than that, the worship should be, the love should be reserved for only one. Sri Maharaj used to give the example of an Indian bride, a young lady. She has gotten married and she is now going to her sasural, which means her marital home. And in an extended family, there would be the sas, sasur, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, sisters-in-law, brothers-in-law. Of course, her husband is there. And she has so many family members now. She has respect for all of them, but her love is reserved for only one. She loves only her husband, but she respects all the in-laws. And in the same way, we must respect everyone, but our love should be only towards our Guru and, excuse me, and our Ishtadev. There's a story of an exclusive devotee. He was exclusively devoted to Bhagwan Shankar. His name was Upamanyu. And one day, Bhagwan Shankar decided to test his devotee. And he appeared before him in the form of Indra, the king of Devas in Swarg, in celestial abode. So, did Upamanyu give proper respect to Indra? Indeed, he did. And he said, "Oh, it is my great privilege to have you here visiting me." He did pranam. He showed a lot of respect, and he seated him with love and respect. And then Indra, who was actually Lord Shankar, said, "I am very pleased with you, so I would like to give you something." And this is when Upmanyu said, "But Maharaj, I do not want anything from you. You may not want anything from me, but I would like to give you something." No, Maharaj, I'm very happy that you visited me, but I want nothing from you. But I insist, and I insist I will not take anything from you. I will kill you if you don't accept what I have to give you. Then please kill me. Kill me then if you want. But I will not accept anything. If my Bhagwan Shankar gives me even residence in hell, I will accept it gladly. But I will not accept anything from you. And that's when Bhagwan Shankar, he appeared before his dear devotee and said, "I'm very pleased with your exclusive devotion." So we must remain exclusively devoted to one form of God, one Guru, and one path. These three we must be exclusive in these three. We must be exclusive to the path of devotion, exclusive to our Ishtadev, and exclusive to our Guru. That means that there are many books out there that we could read, but read only your Guru's literature. And that doesn't mean that everybody else is wrong. No, it just means that you will get very confused. Sri Maharaji has made things very easy for us. And then there's always someone who becomes popular, and that's great. It's wonderful. They're popular. And fellow satsangis will say, did you see that? He lives in Vrindavan, very popular, and you must listen. But what more do I have to listen to? I have listened to Jagat Guru Uttam, and I haven't finished reading his literature. I have not heard all his lectures. Why should I be listening to anyone else? You go ahead and do what you want, but I will not. I respect whoever you're talking about, but I don't feel the need to go anywhere else and listen. Because if you're dissatisfied, of course, if there is if there's something that's missing, then you go ahead and you must listen. You must go somewhere else. Then you have not found your guru. But if you've got a guru and you have accepted him because you understood everything he was saying and because everything he says makes sense, then there's no need to go anywhere else. Where is the need? Why the need to go somewhere else? And there's always this danger that you will read something that will be, um, there could be something wrong, and then that will get stuck in the head. But Maharaji said this one is saying this. What does that mean? Is it wrong? Is it right? It's just best to stay with your own guru and gain the knowledge from him. I personally hear a lot from different devotees, oh, he speaks very well. All right, fine. But can you honestly tell me that you're lacking something, that you need to go somewhere else and listen? You need to read something else. Have you read everything of Maharaji? No. Then be exclusive and listen and read. And once, I have to tell you this, Maharaji told us, once, many, many years ago, I heard it many years ago, and it happened many years before that. Someone had written Maharaji a letter, and in it he said, Maharaji, I went to listen to this one and that one, and I went to listen to so many, but I didn't like what they had to say, and they were making so many mistakes. And Shri Maharaji wrote back, um, did I send you out as supervisor, that you're going and supervising all these people? And did I send you out there as a judge, that you're judging them? What right do you have to judge anyone? This is wrong. And then on top of that, how is it that you have the time to go and listen to someone else? Don't you have your sadhana to do? Have you become God realized? Oh, no, no, Maharaji. Then do your sadhana and don't have this ego that you know the best and everyone else is wrong. If they're saying something wrong, then let them be. But you just stick to what you know and do your sadhana. Maharaji himself said that. And in Maharaji's philosophy book, Philosophy of Divine Love, Prem Ras Siddhant, Maharaji has said that although when Maharaji talks about kusang, what is the nature of harmful association? Maharaji said, even though it doesn't seem like it's kusang, but reading other literature is also kusang, because you'll get confused. And going to listen to other lectures is also kusang, because you have made up your mind, you have a guru. Now, why are you going somewhere else? You will become confused. And you will find fault with this one and that one. Maharaji used to say, and I'll say in Hindi, "Hum aap logon ke kaan kharab kar dete hain." Maharaji used to say, "I spoil your ears." That means you cannot hear anything wrong because I've given you so much knowledge that when you hear something wrong, you can't take it, you can't listen to it. You have to speak up and say, "No, this is not right." So why go here and there and make a just for the some people will go for the purpose of finding fault with someone else. So this is not good. You know that when you go out there to listen to something, you're going to hear something with with Maharaji's grace. Now you know this is wrong, and what will you do with that? What's the purpose of going there? It doesn't serve any purpose. So exclusive devotion is called ananyata. Ananya, the word ananya has been used quite frequently, quite often in the scriptures. Ananya chetaha satatam yo mam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha parth nityayuktasya yoginah. Shri Krishna says to Arjun in the Gita, "O Arjun, if someone worships me exclusively, then for such an individual, I'm very easy to find. I'm very easy to attain for the person who loves me exclusively." At another point, Shri Krishna says, "Ananyashchintayanto mam ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. The one I take full responsibility, I assume full responsibility of the one who is exclusively devoted to me. Full responsibility. That is a wonderful thing. I do the yogakshem vahan karna, meaning to give full protection, to protect what he has already in his possession and to give him what he's lacking, what he needs and what he lacks. So the Ananya devotee receives so many gifts. And he is the one who goes he makes rapid progress on the path of devotion. So the word Ananya meaning exclusive. Another word that has been used is ek, only one, as I said earlier. Ek bharoso, ek bal, ek aas vishwas. एक भरोसो एक बल एक आस विश्वास एक राम घन श्याम हित चातक तुलसी दास. Saint Tulsidas says, I have faith in only one. Ek bharoso, ek bal, and my strength is only one. I believe in only one. You call him Ram, you may call him Ram, you may call him Ghanshyam. And for him, I am Chatak. Chatak is a bird that drinks water only when the Swati constellation is in the ascendant. Other than that, it does not drink even water from the Ganga river. So the Chatak has been used to symbolize Ananyata, exclusiveness. There's an interesting story about a Chatak. Tulsidas ji tells this in the Ramayana. There was a Chatak bird that was flying in the sky, and it was a hot summer's day. And so the Chatak thought, the bird thought, I should take shelter of a tree. So he landed on a tree which was had dense foliage, and so it got some relief from the sun. And then the tree was growing on the bank of the Ganga, the holy Ganga river. And the Chatak thought, I shall quench my thirst by drinking the water of the Ganga. But just then there was a hunter that shot an arrow at the bird. And the bird, as the bird is falling into the Ganga river, the bird thinks, I should open my mouth so the Ganga Jal goes into my mouth and I will attain liberation. But then the next thought that came to the bird was, no, I will not love anyone else. I have only one beloved and I will not have another. I have faith only in one. The clouds that bring rain when the Swati constellation, when in the Swati constellation. So I will not have any other beloved. So thinking, the Swati bird, the Chatak bird, closed its beak so that Ganga Jal may not enter it. So Tulsidas ji has used the Chatak bird to denote exclusiveness, exclusive love for its beloved. That's why he says Chatak Tulsidas. Ek Ram Ghanshyam Hit Chatak Tulsidas. For Bhagwan Sri Ram, who is also known as Ghanshyam, Tulsidas is a Chatak. He loves only Bhagwan Sri Ram, who is also known as Ghanshyam. And there is actually a joke about, but it's a joke, but I would like to tell this to you because there's a point in it. There was a man who was swimming in the river and started to drown. And as he was drowning, he thought, oh my God. And he said, he was a devotee of Lord Krishna. And he said, oh, Krishna, come save me. Then he thought, what if Krishna doesn't come? Oh, Bhagwan Sri Ram, come and save me. He said, oh, Bhagwan Shankar, come and save me. Oh, Ganesh ji, save me. Oh, Durga Mata, save me. And he drowned. Then he had a question to ask from Bhagwan Shri Krishna. He said, why didn't you save me? I'm your devotee. I was drowning. I called out to you. Shri Krishna said, I was coming to save you. But then you said, Ram, I had to put my flute away and I'd pick up the bow and arrow. And then you said, oh, Bhagwan Shiv. So I had to discard that. And I had to change my look again. I had to change my form. Then you said Ganesh, I had to and I had to change again, change my form. And then you said Durga, I had to put on a sari, and that takes some time. So I was late. You should have just called out to me one. So that is indeed a joke, but there's a lot to be said about that. Being exclusive it's wonderful because it helps us to focus on God. Our mind is such that we find it so difficult to focus on even just one form of God. Then there's no logic in worshiping 2, 3, 4, 5 different forms of God. And then on top of that, the devtas who wish to be born human, but we are worshiping them. They are wanting to be humans. Humans are wanting to be like devtas. It doesn't make sense. And then when it comes to the guru, we don't find out everything our guru has told us, but we go here and there looking at who is in style these days. So it doesn't make sense, but have deep respect for everyone. Sri Maharaji has cautioned everyone about that too. Maharaji said, he used to say, I know in privately how you talk. You say, oh, our Maharaji, my Maharaji is like this. And you praise your Maharaji so much. And yet you think that another person is less than your guru, and that's not right. You should don't think ill of anyone. Don't think and don't say, oh, this one doesn't know anything. No, you must have respect for everyone, but exclusiveness must not be compromised ever. When we look at history of saints, we see that Mirabai, she was an exclusive devotee of Sri Krishna. And Tulsidas ji was exclusively devoted to Bhagwan Sri Ram. Upamanyu was an exclusive devotee of Bhagwan Shankar. Surdas was exclusively devoted to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. They were all Ananya, and they inspire us to become Ananya as well. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की जय. If you have any questions, you can please raise your hand.
What date is it today?
18th Thursday.
I would like to actually tell you that I could have a next session next Thursday because I'm going to India on the 28th. So next one will be on the 25th. Vikas will send a message to everyone. Is that good for everyone? 25th, yes,
Yeah.
Thursday.
Can Devi Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Can I ask one thing? Sorry.
Yes.
Actually, I had one query. You said like we need to be exclusive to just to listen to Maharaji, which we do often. But those who are disciple of Maharaji itself, so is that advisable to listen to? Because there are people like they are quite they are disciple of Maharaji itself, and they are basically delivering lectures. So is that advisable not to
Oh,
listen
yes.
to them?
Oh, no. Yes. Don't stop listening to us. Yes, Maharaji, Maharaji servants like myself. No, you must listen to Maharaj because we're broadcasting Maharaji's message.
Yeah. So
Listen to
there is one
Maharaj.
Muktanand Swami. He often talks about.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because
Thank you.
we are we were given this seva by Sri Maharaji, and we only give out Maharaji's message, so you're safe there listening to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next thing I know, nobody comes to the Zoom because I only said, listen to Maharaji. I will lose all of you. Yes. Anyone else? Also, you can suggest a topic that I should speak on as well. You can send that to Vikas, and then he can communicate that to me. So shall I ask questions? Should I ask questions? Can you name some scriptures of Maharaji, please? Most of you know the answer to this. Yes? Is it Chitra?
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe.
Sorry for missing some of the lectures. I've been listening to the recordings to catch up. We want to know the books with literature, or even the women's
Anything
lecture.
Maharaji has written. So that we can.
Premas Madira.
Premas Madira. And
Prajas Madhuri.
Rajas Madhuri.
Um,
We have Wendy?
Prem Resident, is that a
Yes.
scripture?
Yes, absolutely. By the way, the 60th anniversary of Prem Ras Madira is coming up. 60th. Yes.
When will that be?
Just during the sadhana program. Yes, so right now we are recording our thoughts on Prem Ras Madira. Anyone else?
Bhakti Shatak.
Bhakti Shatak, thank you.
Radha Govind Geet.
Radha Govind Geet, absolutely.
Geet.
Sorry, Shama Sham Geet, yes. Shama Sham Geet, yes. There's a book Maharaji has written, and there are copies of it. It's in Maharaji's own writing. Do you know it? Bhakti, that's Bhakti Shatak. You have that.
I know one book, Guru Tattva. It's in my home since quite long.
Guru Tattva, yes. It's
Yeah.
I think it is Maharaji's lecture, transcription of Maharaji's lecture, yes.
Actually, I previously did not know about him, but my father, there was very small very thin book. It used to be at my home with picture of Maharaji. So I did not know him in my childhood. But
I
then
see.
I came to know through Vikas later on that my father used to bring that book. So
Oh,
still
nice.
at my, yeah, so.
Which is Guru Tattva or the other?
I don't remember, but there are a couple of books at my home with pictures, but one name I remember. So
I see. That's nice. Good to open that and read it, right? Nice.
sorry, I did not do that at my home because my father only.
Oh, you don't have it now. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at my home, I remember was the name.
So does anybody know the name of the book that Maharaji wrote with his own writing?
Sadhan Sadhya Siddhant Didi.
Yes. Sadhan. Is it Sadhan Sadhya? Sevak Sevya. Sevak Sevya Siddhant.
Right.
Yes.
Thanks.
Sure. And by the way, that's in Hindi, so anyone who understands Hindi should get that book. You can get it personally from Didi's. You don't get it from the gift shop. Yes. Yes, Sevak Sevya Siddhant. That is amazing, amazing. I mean, there is such, in that, if you, again, it's not translated into English yet, but in Hindi, if you read Hindi, there's such a descriptive description, a very elaborate description of Roop Dhyan. in it.
Radhe
Yes.
Radhe Didi, this is the
Radhe.
one.
Yes, can you show it again? Yes, there it is. Can we highlight it? Yes, Sevak, Sevya, Siddhant. And it says
Yeah.
Mulya, Amulya. It says, price, it says priceless. Very beautiful. Price is priceless. Yes. Yeah, this is Maharaji's writing. Yes. Absolutely. Wonderful. Good. And so we have Shama Sham Geet, Radha Govind Geet, Bhakti Shatak, Brajas Madhuri Part 1 to 3.
दीदी
Madhura Prema Siddhant. Hanji?
युगल शतक
Yugal Shatak, definitely. Yugal Shatak. There's Bhakti Shatak, there's Yugal Shatak. Yugal Madhuri is another one. Yugal Madhuri. Yugal Ras is another one. These are some Kirtan books. Yes.
Radha Triyodasi, that's a book, or
Absolutely. Radha Triyodashi and Sri Krishna Dwadashi.
Triyodasi? Yeah.
12 songs of Lord Krishna's descriptions of Sri Krishna's beauty and 13 of Radharani's. Radharani's a winner.
But Didi, is there one on Guru that's got one extra than Radharani?
Guru? But no, I mean only in these books. There's Radha Triyodashi and Krishna Dwadashi.
Okay.
The ones
Sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
What about the smaller books like Tulsi Jayanti, Bhagwan Naam
Yes, those very
Mahatmya,
small
Guru
books.
Mahima?
Those are transcriptions of Maharaji's lectures. One lecture presented in the form of a book.
Yeah, like Prem Marg,
Yes.
Sumiran.
And one of the first ones was, and maybe you were referring to that when you said your father had it. One of you said that. I think Sandeep said that. And that would be Hum Do Hamare Do. That was one of the first ones that was printed in one of Maharaji's lectures transcribed into the book. And that meant it was a takeoff on a very popular slogan in India to control population. Hum do, meaning we are two, husband and wife are saying we are two, and we have two children. Hum do, hamare do. We are two, we have two. So the government used it as a slogan, very, very popular slogan. It became a very popular slogan. And Maharaji used it, and I'm sure everybody thought, is Maharaji going to talk about family planning? But he said, we are two, we are body and soul. So we have two. We have the world for the sake of the body and Lord Krishna for the sake of the soul. Brilliant. I remember that was one of the first, if not the first, very thin book that I saw. It was a transcription of a lecture. That's what it was. There was once someone said to Badi Didi that, I wish I had, I wish I had known, I got to know, that I had gotten to know Maharaji when I was much younger. And Badi Didi didn't skip a beat. She said, now that you do have him, what are you doing with that? You're still being careless. And that was a wonderful answer. Badi Didi just did not skip a beat. That, we have so much to do. And that we shouldn't regret that, oh, I wish Maharaji had come into my life so much earlier, because what are we doing with that privilege right now? So we need to read all the literature and get to know it all and absorb all the wonderful teachings. And on this note, I will say that Kripalu Nidhi app, you just all have to have it. And if you don't have the subscription, at least you can get the free one from there. Everyone can get that, and that has amazing stuff on it. Kripalu Nidhi. Right.
Didi said, this is Ras, Panchadhyayi, Narad Bhakti Darshan,
These are all lectures Maharaj
Mera
has given.
Kaun, the सारे भी books अभी आ गए ना? They're all
Oh,
lectures.
definitely. Yes. So many. Yeah, Narad Bhakti Darshan. I prefer the books actually because you can highlight them. You can go over them again and again. Get to know them. Yes, very well. Narad Bhakti Darshan, just amazing lectures. So many years ago in 1991, I believe, Maharaji just came to the stage, sat on the stage, and started giving lectures on Narad Bhakti Darshan. And truthfully, I did not know up until then that this scripture existed. We all got to know about the scripture when Maharaji started talking about it. And then Maharaji would say in his lectures, "Oh, this is from Dvayo Upanishad." And all the Prasaraks are saying, we've never heard of that because Maharaji never mentioned it and nobody else ever has mentioned it ever. So you know about the other Upanishads and Taittiriya Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Kenopanishad, but Dvayo Upanishad? So a lot of these things, besides Maharaji, no one ever talks about them. And so there is such a treasure. Maharaji's books are just treasure trove of knowledge and knowledge that we can all understand. So let's get into those books and read them. A lot of people say they don't like reading, but if we don't like reading, we should really develop a habit of reading because there's so much that Maharaji has to say. There's so much excitement in reading each and every page of Maharaji's books because each and every page is filled with so much knowledge. It's like each and every lecture Maharaji gives is filled with so much knowledge that you say, okay, I better note that down. I've got to note this down. This is so beautiful, so wonderful. And I never understood it up until now. And I mean, after years and years of listening to Maharaji, still you'll say, I did not know this before. I know I do. I think like that. I never saw this. I never heard this before because there's so much Maharaji has given. So we must remain exclusive and get to know what our Guru is saying. Because no matter what anyone else is saying out there, I can assure you that he or she is not saying anything Maharaji has not said. If it's worth listening to, it's worth listening to, and Maharaji has already said it. And he has said it in so many different ways, to make sure that we hear it, not just once, but many times. So if we don't understand it first time, then we'll understand it second time or the 100th time. So Maharaji has given so many lectures. And good. Well, if you don't have any questions, we can conclude 5 minutes early. I noticed that these days nobody really has any questions, and that's okay. But then maybe I should give a little bit less time for questions. You can let me know what you feel. I really look forward to your feedback. So it would be good to let me know how we should proceed with this. Maybe we don't need such a long question answer session, or maybe we need something else. Let me know what you would like, because I'm here at your service. Right?
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe.
I think I remember the book that I was thinking about, Kripalu Triyadashi.
Oh yes. So those are Kripalu Trayodashi is 13 points that Maharaji has given. 13 points. There are 13 dohas then. They're not 13 songs.
And they're like, are they
They're Maharaji's philosophy in 13 verses, you can say.
I see. So they're not like Shri Krishna Dvadashi, Radha Triyadashi, like
No.
describing Guru.
No, Maharaji is just explaining, like I said, his philosophy, and from first one to the second one in a very logical sequence in Kripalu Trayodashi.
Thank you, Didi.
Welcome. All right, everyone. It's such a pleasure, and I will meet you next week. Please spread the word, let everybody know, and let me know your feedback. Okay. Radhe Radhe everyone. Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki
Okay.
Radhe Radhe.
jai.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.